The fourth in a series of videos on circular trig, and the focus on this one is we're going to study coterminal angles. So the first thing we want to do is we want to define what a coterminal angle is. So a coterminal angle are simply angles which end in the same place. So angles, let's be careful, angles which when drawn in standard position have the same terminal side. And if you think about that, let's think about what coterminal means. Coterminal, terminal means to end, co means to together, so to together end. That's all that means. So let's think about that for a second. Let's look at two angles. Let's look at an example. Let's look at 110 degrees, and then let's look at 470 degrees and minus 250 degrees. Let's draw each one of these. Well, if you draw first 110 degrees, well, this is 0 and this is 90, and 110 is going to be 20 more than that. So that's going to be right there. So there's 110 degrees. Now let's think about 470. 470 is all the way around, so that's 360. And then let's think about how much further we have to go once we get to 360. So that's 470 minus 360 is 110. So what you do is you travel all the way around and then you have 110 to go. And if you notice, if you do that, start here and travel all the way around, then you end exactly the same place. So 470 and 110 are coterminal. And that kind of makes sense. If you go 110 degrees, you add 360 to it, you're going to get 470. What is traveling 360 degrees? Getting back where you started. Negative 250 is not so clear, but let's look at that one for a second. Right? Here we have, you always start in the same place. That's the key about angles in standard position. They always end at the same place. This is minus 90, and that's minus 180, and that's minus 270. Minus 250 is going to be, if you notice, if you're traveling backward, you're going to be 20 degrees short. So that's going to be 20 degrees there. And this is going to be minus 250. But what is 110? 110 is 90 plus 20. So if you notice, 110, 470, and minus 250 are all coterminal angles. It turns out to determine whether angles are coterminal is really easy. Take any number you want to. Let's try 230 degrees. And let's find two coterminal angles. Here's the rule. Add 360 degrees and subtract 360 degrees. If you add 360 degrees, you end up where you started. If you subtract 360 degrees, you end up where you started. So let's do that. 230 plus 360 is equal to 590. And 230 minus 360 is going to be minus, let's be careful here, that's minus 130. There's two coterminal angles. So 230, 590, minus 130 are all coterminal angles. What if you had it in radians? Let's think about how that would be different if it was in radians. If it was radians, what you would do is you would add or subtract not 360, but 2 pi. So that's how you find coterminal angles. And let's just do a quick example of that. Let's say you had 5 pi over 7. Now you could convert this to degrees and convert back, it doesn't matter. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 pi to it. You can't add 5 pi over 7 over you can't add 5 pi 7 over 7 plus 2 pi. You have to have a common denominator, so that's 5 pi over 7 plus something over 7. let's see, this is over 1, so you multiply the denominator by 7, so you multiply the numerator by 7, so that's 14 pi. So you end up with 19 pi over 7. So that's one coterminal angle. To find another coterminal angle, you go 5 pi over 7 minus 2 pi. That's 5 pi over 7 minus, let's see, the denominator, common denominator is going to be 7 minus 14 pi again. And that's going to be minus 5 minus 14 is going to be a minus 9 pi over 7. And those are your two coterminal angles. And that's how you find coterminal angles. We're done.